Howdy, gang. This is Dr. Wessner, and I just wanted to drop you guys a little bit of a line here before we get cranking for the exam. So, I've gotten a few questions on this, so I want to address it sort of all at once. I'm getting some questions about, hey man, what's the best way to prepare for my exam, etc. So, here's a few things that you guys need to do in order to be ready. Number one, make sure you guys have scheduled on ProctorU. If you haven't done that, jump on it today because exams start tomorrow. You don't want to wait till the last minute and then for some reason not get scheduled. That's never good. If you have submitted your disability accommodation letter to me, up to this point, I have all disability accommodation letters accounted for. You can thank Stacy Slaughter for that. She worked really hard on it. And so ProctorU is aware of you guys and what you guys need and extra time and all that kind of fun stuff. So if you send it to me, we took care of it for you. And so be aware of that. Now let's talk about the nuts and bolts of how to prepare. Number one, by now you guys should have done the following things. Number one, you should have read all the chapters. Number two, you should have listened to all my lectures. And number three, you should have worked your way through MindTap at this point. All three of those are resources for you guys to use in getting ready for your exams. So bottom line is MindTap will give you an idea of sort of the kind of questions I like to ask typically. And then your reading and the lectures should lay the groundwork for everything that you need to know. Now, a couple of key points here that I want you guys to be aware of. Number one, don't focus on dates, okay? I won't ask you any questions about, in what year did Max Weber do this? Dates aren't really important to the class. It's not a history class, so I don't do that. Number two, don't focus too heavily on names. It's not important that you know what Weber or Fiedler or somebody like that they were the scholar that came up with a particular theory or theory of management. What is important is that you understand the concepts themselves. In other words, it's not who did it that's important for the exam. It's what they actually did, what the impact of those given theories were. And speaking of that, I do not give vocabulary exams. So what you need to prepare for are scenario type of questions. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions that are like, Bob walks into work and his manager comes in, sits down across the table from him, tells him exactly what he's got to do that day, lays out all, the incentive for him to do it and the punishment for him not doing it, et cetera, and then stands over him and actually watches him complete his tasks, micromanaging him at every single point. What particular style is this? Would this be theory X, theory Y? What would it be? So the trick to it is being able to read through a scenario and then answer questions about it based on the stuff from the book. So if you are getting ready to prepare for my exam, my advice to you is that you focus on those particular types of questions. They will serve you well. So that's kind of what I've got in mind. There will be 50 multiple choice questions on the exam. If you do not have a disability accommodation of some sort, you've got 90 minutes for you to complete the exam. You will get your exam score almost immediately. As soon as you submit it, Blackboard will grade it, and it will magically appear in the grade book. If you experience some sort of a difficulty, okay, don't panic. Number one, just relax, okay? It does happen. We do live in a technological world, but the reality is, as long as you're working with ProctorU, you're going to be well taken care of. If you get your score and you go, oh my goodness, that's not the score I wanted, relax again, okay? It's the beginning of this semester. Whenever you start a new semester with a new professor, you never know exactly how they're going to ask test questions. What I will promise you is that my exams are really congruent, meaning type of questions you're going to see on exam 1 are the exact type of questions you're going to see on exam 4. There'll be different content, but the style's the same. So you'll get an idea of like how I do it. I'm trying to, this video is designed to give you a little bit of an inkling of that as well. But, the bottom line is that even if you don't get the score that you wanted, doesn't mean you're not going to get the grade you want at the end of the semester. So relax and stay on top of that. Okay, so that's the stuff for the exam. I am also still getting a fair amount of questions about PackBack and MindTap. So I'm going to address those here as well. Here are the things that are really, really important, okay? For Packback, yes, we do Packback every single week, including this week, including a week in which you're going to have exams. Those are always due by Sunday at midnight. Okay, one thoughtful question, two thoughtful responses to the questions of others, and that's all you need to do. I will try diligently, although I've been kind of having some technical difficulties of my own. I will try and get those scores uploaded when I get them from Packback, which is usually middle of the week, every week, so that you guys are well taken care of there. Now, with regard to MindTap, remember that all you've got to do is work through it, okay? You have the entire unit to work through it, but it always, you have until the day before exams begin. So, for instance, exams begin tomorrow. So, MindTap from Unit 1, all, 5 modules worth of stuff are due tonight at midnight. So, if you have them done, great. If not, you need to get on those so that you have them in by midnight tonight. No, I don't grant extensions on those. No, because the bottom line is this is an asynchronous online class. So, you have to get those done before the exams begin. When we start Unit 2, here in the next day or so, you will have right up to that day before the Unit 2 exams begin. Okay, so you'll have up to that period to get all the MindTap stuff done. So again, Packback due every week, MindTap all due before the exam covering that material. So it ought to be pretty self-explanatory. Okay. Be patient with us over the next few days. I'm sure that we will get a plethora of email. Both Stacy and myself will be trying to deal with that as soon as possible. If I get questions that everybody needs to know the answer to, I will post the announcement direct to Blackboard and email you all at once. So if you get an answer to your question, but you don't get an individual response from me, that's why. And sometimes I have to do it that way just because I got 1,000 students. Okay. Work hard, study hard, and you guys will do fine on this thing. And yeah, that's it for right now. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.